the hits just keep on coming for Target. And I'm not talking about the classic hits. I'm not talking about timeless records like Down on Bended Knee by Boyz II Men. Who could forget the classic Hit My Bongo One More Time by Brandon Spears? Or my personal favorite, If You're Having Girl Problems, I Feel Bad For You, Son. I Got 99 Problems, But a Dick Ain't One. The hits that I am referring to with Target, these are not musical hits. I'm talking about the hit Target is taking in the stock market. The hits they are taking in terms of public relations. I am sure executives at Bud Light, they sent executives at Target a nice sticky thank you letter. Oh my God, thank you so much for taking the attention away from us. Please accept this gift of an unlimited supply of Bud Light. We can't find anyone else willing to take it. Yesterday, Fox Business, they released an update on the stock valuation of Target. Needless to say, it wasn't good. Target stock price, it is down almost 13%. In the last 7 days, 7 días, Target's value has declined by over $9 billion. $9 billion with a B. First of all, we need to give credit where credit is due. All of my lovely ladies out there, thank you. The ladies deserve all of the credit here. Us men and men like Bob Greiner, we had nothing to do with this. The credit for this boycott of Target should be given to women. I mean, this was easy for me. I was already boycotting Target involuntarily because I never go there. But I know women love shopping there. It's probably a sacrifice for some of them to do this. So, credit to all the ladies out there who are sending Target and the media a message. I'm not going to lie to you. I am pleasantly surprised by this. I didn't think this Target boycott would be nearly as effective as Bud Light. Hopefully, it continues through the month of Woke Christmas and beyond. But I'm telling you right now, deacons at Woke United Methodist, they are getting the message. Normal people have corporate America and the mainstream media on their knees. Well, KC, isn't that their preferred position? Don't they enjoy being on their knees? Of course they do. But this is different. They are not on their knees for purposes of pleasure. This time, they are on their knees in submission. They are losing this battle and they know it. You don't have to take my word for it. You know KC always comes with the proof. Last night, CNN featured a panel of 4 unknown birthing persons. They also borrowed one of the Yentas from The View who identifies as Al Griffin. Her friends call her AFG, a cheap knockoff of the real AOC. Which, by the way, did you guys see what AOC said the other day? Clearly, AOC is living in a fantasy. She was asked about farmers and how the John Biden administration is absolutely killing the farming industry here in America. AOC said, "That's okay. We don't need farmers. We don't need farms. We have grocery stores." That's one of the leaders of our country. You guys are smart. I don't have to sit here and explain the outright stupidity of that statement. But anyway, back to the AOC imposter Al Griffin. Last night, this panel of huge embarrassing failures at CNN, they were talking about the boycott of Target. Al Griffin came up with a new way to describe this boycott. It's totalitarian, damn it! I'd be willing to bet not one of these wanker spankers at CNN could define the word totalitarian. This segment, it was an attack on normal people. Now you gotta remember, CNN is bleeding viewers. CNN is trying to attract normal people. They are trying to convince you to give them another chance. Watch this segment. You tell me if this qualifies as journalism. You tell me if you would be willing to watch CNN. Roll the film.
This is where I get frustrated with my friends on the right, is that you can have whatever view you personally want to in your home about the LGBTQ agenda, about gender, about sexuality, and you have a right to raise your children that way, and you have a right to not buy things at Target. You do not have a right to tell other kids they can't read this book about this, they can't talk about their gay parents, they can't buy that shirt at Target. That's not a conservative position. It's frankly like a very totalitarian position. We are going way too far, and I think it springs from this. Listen, the sentiment around marriage equality changed rapidly and quickly in most of the country country is there. The young people, we are there.
70%.
The trans community is something that for a lot of Americans feels new. It feels unfamiliar, and it is leading to fear-mongering and to weaponizing that community. And frankly, they're facing threats.
There's the fear that is already there, and there's the fear that's stoked by opportunists. And the lowest hanging fruit would be to stop that, to stop lying about trans people in their lives, to stop encouraging people to take this kind of action, because this doesn't come out of nowhere. There's this term stochastic terrorism. When you tell people that a group is terrible over and over again, someone, somewhere is going to act out, and that's what's happening here.
Did you catch it? Did you hear what that dude said? Well, I mean, I assume he's a dude. It is entirely possible he chooses to identify as a plunger. Just to be safe, we will refer to him as a birthing person. His name is Jay Michaelson. He is a pretend journalist for the Rolling Stone. I didn't know the Rolling Stone was still in circulation. With journalists like Jay Michaelson, I understand why their influence has diminished. According to Jay Michaelson, the soccer moms throughout America who refuse to allow Target to indoctrinate their children, those moms are comparable to terrorists. Yeah. All you moms out there watching Real Housewives of Singapore in your spare time, you belong on the FBI's most wanted list. Since Michael J. described normal women as terrorists for having the audacity to boycott Target, I wanted to know if he described the BLM riots in 2020 the same way. Last I checked, normal women haven't stormed Target trying to steal all the cheap trinkets. I have yet to see one burning police car in the Target parking lot. Executives at Target, along with the mainstream media, they are trying to claim employees have been threatened with violence. Now, if that's true, it's horrific. The cashier making minimum wage, they have nothing to do with Target's poor decision making. But call me a skeptic, but I have my doubts as to whether this is true. I have yet to see or hear one Target employee confirm these claims. But anyway, I wanted to know how Jay Michael described the BLM riots in 2020. Imagine my surprise when I come across an article that he wrote on Medium describing the BLM riots as mostly peaceful. Mostly peaceful. I swear to God, you can't make this shit up. During that segment, Al Griffin said, "This is the problem I have with my conservative friends." You have conservative friends? Every time I see you, you're surrounded by shit fucks. Every time I see you on The View, you are surrounded by a group of yentas and a whoopee cushion. This is my problem with normal people. You don't have the right to make decisions for other parents. If I want my son wearing a dress, I should be allowed to buy him one at Target. If I want the latest copy of 2 Wanker Spankers, 1 Cucumber, it should be available at Target. You don't have the right to have these removed. Al Griffin's absolutely right. But here's the thing. Normal people did not remove these displays at Target. Harriet Housewife didn't tear down these displays in a fit of rage. Homeless Harold may have done it, but it wasn't Harriet. No one is taking away Tiny Tim's right to purchase a rainbow bathing suit that will accommodate his sphincter. The only people responsible for taking away those rights are executives at Target. No one demanded that they remove these displays. People simply decided they would take their business elsewhere. In response to that, in response to losing billions of dollars, management at Target made the decision to hide these displays in the back of the store or just remove them altogether. When you lose $9 billion in 7 days, your perception has a tendency to change. Maybe, just maybe, for the first time in 10 years, Target is trying to cater to the rest of America instead of the others. Al Griffin trying to explain away the backlash by saying, part of the problem here is the trans community is new to a lot of people. They are afraid of change. There is nothing new about the transgender community. For centuries, maybe even millenniums, there have been people who believe they were born the wrong gender. Transgender people have existed since the beginning of time. Perhaps Al Griffin should open up that Bible she claims to read and read about Sodom and Gomorrah. I don't think most people have an issue with the transgender community. If someone was shopping for bathing suits and happened to notice a tuck-friendly bathing suit that was subtly mixed in with the others, they would probably say, this is different, and move on. The mainstream media is trying to create this false narrative that these boycotts are an attack on the LGBT community. Again, this could not be further from the truth. Let me explain the difference here. Like I said, the transgender lifestyle, that is not new. What is new, what has changed, is they are trying to push it on children. I don't care what side of the political aisle that you're on, left, right, moderate, doesn't matter. Your religious beliefs, doesn't matter. Hell, I think most atheists would agree you don't indoctrinate children. That is the difference. That's why people are so upset. That is why Target is being boycotted. I hope this boycott continues. I think the Target boycott is more important than Bud Light. Bud Light was important, don't get me wrong, because it lit the fuse, but that could be perceived as a one-off. If this Target boycott lasts, they know they're in trouble. Let me tell you why this is so important. For decades, the mainstream media has been able to shape the narrative. Whatever narrative the media was pushing, that narrative, it was perceived to be accepted by society. Now notice I said perceived. That doesn't mean it was accepted, but the perception is all that matters. In the past, normal people, we didn't have a way to push back against it. 20 years ago, it was incredibly difficult to organize a nationwide boycott. If a boycott was started, the media, they could just refuse to publicize it. Or they could shape the narrative by creating false reasons for it so most people wouldn't support it. Back then, the media had influence. And that's why these boycotts are so important, because it proves the mainstream media has lost influence. People are no longer relying on the mainstream media for information. They are no longer watching CNN to hear opinions on breaking news. Last night, I had a viewer send me a screenshot. It was a picture of his recommended section here on YouTube. There was a video from Yahoo Sports, a mainstream media outlet. It had been uploaded 13 hours before. It had 33 views. Right above it was my first video from yesterday. I think I was talking about The View. 13 hours, 39,000 views. That is exactly what I'm talking about. My channel is small. Yahoo is a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They have far more resources than I do, but money can't buy influence. At least it can't buy influence in a situation like this. The mainstream media is terrified right now. These boycotts of Target and Bud Light, it's an indictment of the media because it proves they no longer control the narrative. All right. Quick note before I get out of here. I've got a family matter to handle tomorrow, so I'm not going to be here tomorrow. That's why I doubled up on the videos today, but I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. I'll be back on Sunday, but give me your thoughts. CNN demonizes normal people, calling them terrorists for boycotting Target. Target loses $9 billion in 7 days. Do you think this momentum is sustainable? Do you think these boycotts continue through the summer? You let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys Sunday.